2025 is right around the corner, and this is a year that you're going to accomplish all of your goals. Unlike last year, we are leveling up our glow, our style, our health, our mental status, financials, everything. So if this is the year that you want to finally accomplish all of those goals that you always tell yourself you're going to do, these are my tips to transform your life in 2025. The funny thing about this is that I'm actually Jewish. So I don't even really celebrate the new year. So like January 1st is just like another day to me. But I know this time of year, everyone's kind of reflecting on the past year. You're getting ready for the next year with all these new goals and just things that you want to do better next year. So I thought, what better way to share all of my advice? Anyways, let's get into it. Number one, your health is the best investment that you can make. Your health is one thing that I think a lot of people forget that you have control over it. In life, there's a lot of things that we can't control, but your health is one thing that you can pour time and energy into, and you will get something back out of it. And remember that your health is more than just the gym and your diet. So that's physical health, mental health, financial wealth, spiritual wealth. Your health is everything. If you want your life to level up, you have to focus on yourself. This is something that I kind of had to learn the hard way. After moving in with my boyfriend, it was very easy for me to forget about the small stuff that I did for myself. And then I realized that I was neglecting myself and that I had to find balance between taking care of our relationship, but also taking care of me. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't show up best for anybody else. Get 8 to 9 hours of sleep, especially if you're a woman. I didn't know this, and I think my boyfriend thinks I'm so funny for saying this, but women actually use their brain more during the day than men. So when that old study was done about how you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep, that was done by men on men. Women need 8 to 9 hours of sleep, sometimes 9 to 10 if you're on your menstrual cycle. Develop a skincare routine. It might quite literally just be face wash, toner, and moisturizer, aka me. But it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but I noticed that once I just had this little routine for myself, it was easier to stay consistent with it, and obviously I saw an improvement in my skin. Have nighttime rituals.
I find it a lot harder to have a routine in the evenings just because every night looks different for us, but I have key non-negotiables that I do every single night,
which will in turn help you get better sleep. Reading before you go to bed is a game changer. I know this is said by so many people, and I ignored this for so long, but I started reading a book, The Great Gatsby, my favorite book of all time, and I did not realize just how much that helped me wind down before going to bed, because the blue light will really keep you up. Foam rolling and stretching, underrated. I know when we think about the gym, we just always think about lifting weights, the cardio. I do not hear enough people talk about how impactful it is and how important it is to stretch. Unless you want to be old and stiff, you have to stretch. Take magnesium before you go to sleep. Taking magnesium is good for you in general, but I have found that when I make one of those little sleepy girl mocktails, which if you don't know what those are, let me show you.
Basically, to make one of these little mocktails, you mix magnesium, Olipop, and tart cherry juice, mix it all up, and I swear it gets me sleepy in like 30 minutes and it tastes so good.
Move your body at least 3 times a week. You don't have to go into full gym rat mode. You don't have to start going crazy with the weights, but move your body. Body deserves it. You deserve it. Cycle sync your workouts.
My rule is the first 3 days of my period, I don't go to the gym. If I want to after that, great. If not, no shame, no guilt. The 2 weeks after that, I have the most energy, so that's when I focus on more of my lifts, intense cardio, workouts like that. After that, we slow it down for more low-impact stuff like Pilates, yoga, light walking, and focusing on resting.
Track your period. Even if you're a woman with irregular cycles, maybe your periods vary from month to month, track them.
I started doing this more and more in the past 6 months, and I cannot tell you how helpful it is to be able to look back for common symptoms I've had or patterns, or I can predict when my period's gonna come, when ovulation. It is so helpful.
Save your money. I'm not saying don't enjoy life and don't spend money on things that you want, but one thing I have realized as I have gotten older is that you don't need the newest thing to spend $7 on a coffee all the time. I'm not saying I don't enjoy those things, and I'm not saying you shouldn't either, but those little purchases do add up, and your future self will thank you. If you are 18 and older, open a Roth IRA, open a high yield savings account.
Basically, a high yield savings account is a savings account that has a higher annual percentage yield than you would at a regular bank. So if you're looking for a great way to grow your money that's more low risk and keep it safe, this is a great option. Then a Roth IRA is an individual retirement account. You might get a 401k or retirement plan from your employer, but these are great if you work part-time or work for yourself, or even just want another way to set aside money for the future. Also, they're already taxed, so what you see in the account is what you're gonna get at retirement.
First your money, save your money, and put it in the right places. If you have credit card debt, and I can speak to this because once upon a time, I lived alone in a city and I was not making a ton of money, and I did end up having to put a good amount on credit card. And obviously it's taking me some time to slowly like pay off these things. But the one thing I wish I would have done sooner, let's say you put something on a credit card and it costs $49.58. Pay $50. My rule is that if you spend some, save some. Have a weekly self-care night. If you take just one day out of the week, use that as your time, like your little me time. Make those appointments. Make your doctor's appointments, make your eye appointments, make your dentist appointments. Trust me, I avoided them for so long because I hate going to doctors and everything. But if you neglect things, they will just come back to bite you later. I always tell myself that even though I don't want to go, I'll make it out alive. I made it out alive last time, I'll make it out alive this time. Even if I leave in tears, all right, I will be fine. Now my legs are falling asleep. Be mindful of what is in your energy drinks. I know it's super easy to buy into the high protein, low calorie, sugar free, no net carbs because it's labeled as healthy, but trust me, it is not healthy. It is not good for you, which goes into my next point that eating simple, healthy meals will change your life way more than your high protein buffalo mac and cheese ever will. Promise you. Promise you, girl. Promise you. Your turkey burgers and avocado, your beef and your berries, it will change your health for the better. Treat exercise as part of your routine and not something to check off a to-do list. This is something that I've had to get my own self into the mindset of, because I usually go about my day thinking about like, okay, I gotta do this, and this, and at some point today I want to go to the gym. Versus tomorrow morning I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get ready, I'm gonna go to the gym, and then come back and tackle my to-do list. Which again comes back around to have to put yourself first. No one else is gonna put you first. Put yourself number one. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Have a high protein breakfast. Is going to make you feel satiated and so much better throughout the whole entire day. Don't take for granted the life that you have.
For those who don't know, I live with my boyfriend and we rent out the basement from his dad, and his brother also lives in the house with his dad, so it's kind of like a new girl situation, like one girl, three guys. But at the end of the day, I have the most amazing boyfriend, roof over my head, and food on the table, and I'm thankful.
Sometimes you have to remind yourself that you are once where you wanted to be.
While the situation isn't ideal, at the end of the day, I am loved, taken care of, and I have everything that I've ever asked for.
At times, you are going to deviate from the routine.
I think it's super easy to get on social media and see everybody with their habits, their routines, their 5 a.m. mornings, and compare ourselves and think that we don't have it all together. But the reality is that's just the 80%. Social media is a highlight reel. We don't see everybody's day to day.
Schedule your fun.
Did you know that 30% of the happiness you get from an experience is from anticipating it?
I think as you get older, it's super easy to just fall into gym, work, sleep. Clean on the weekends, gym, work, sleep.
You have to actually go out and make time to do fun things.
Don't let others' opinions get to you. The hard truth is that if you look at somebody's life and you go, I don't want that kind of life, then why are you listening to them? Why are you taking their advice? If the advice that you're given isn't conducive to the life that you want, don't listen to it. You are not put on this earth to make anybody else happy but yourself. That rounds up all my 24 things that I would share from the past year and I'm implementing and keeping to build upon in the next year. I also want to know what your things are that you have learned from this past year. What habits, what things are you trying to implement next year? That way we can all help and support and uplift each other for the next year. Bye guys.